Okay. Good morning. It is 8:18 a.m. on Monday, June 7th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis and I sort of just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I feel weird today, you guys. I'm not sure what happened, but I uh I went to bed at an actual reasonable hour last night, but I did not get a restful night's sleep for whatever reason. I kept waking up several times, but each time I would wake up, I would feel just like exhausted. Like why am I waking up? I feel tired. Like all that I would come awake and feel just like not like, oh gosh, why am I awake? Gosh, I'm awake. It's more like something woke me up. I don't know. And then just like the morning came and I just still feel like blah. So I caffeinated a little bit before starting this recording, but yeah, I just still feel a little bit like I tried to stay up all night, even though what I actually did is go to bed at a reasonable hour and then stay in bed all night. So I don't know what's going on there, but I also had a couple of vague stress dreams, of the type that I've talked about before, which is just generally issues like, oh no, I'm in a strange part of the city and I've lost my car keys and I have to try to figure out, like, okay, well, I guess I have to walk to this place and find it and then maybe get someone to loan me their phone and that's not working for some reason, and just that sort of stress stream of just like I'm supposed to do something inconvenient and frustrating and I'm just trying to get it done, but it's just not working out for me, and that sort of dream. But I don't feel like I'm especially stressed right now, so like I'm not aware of it coming from anything in particular. So, I don't know. But yeah, I don't feel great today. I mean, I'm caffeinated enough that I'm like right now I'm moving. I'm going to try to do work things. But yeah, I'm just feeling very strange today. I'm not sure what's going on. In any event, though, I hope everybody had a good weekend. Um, Yesterday was a pretty lazy day. I mean, I did do I did all the dishes and ran the dishwasher and cleaned up the kitchen a little bit and did a load of laundry. So it's not like the day was entirely unproductive, but mostly I played video games and watched TV. The one thing that I'll talk a little bit about is that I watched the new Netflix special from Bo Burnham called Inside. If you're not familiar with Bo Burnham, he's sort of a comedian. He's like a musical comedian. He came up doing YouTube videos, but he mostly does he does a lot of like funny songs and stuff like that. I like him. I could see why he wouldn't be necessarily everybody's taste. But Inside is kind of an unusual special because it's all about him all by himself in this tiny little house, making a special, just in this one room, no audience, no other people there, just him doing all sorts of fancy light shows and sound shows and his own songs there in the room, kind of all about having to stay inside for a year, right? Um, and it definitely goes to some more intense personal places. Like, not that his stuff isn't always personal, but I just mean it's definitely not always trying to be funny, is my point. Is that, like, there's definitely points where he's really talking about, like, his mental health and, some of his struggles, like how he didn't perform for a while because he was getting panic attacks, and then just as he was starting to feel like maybe he's up for it again, all of a sudden the lockdown happened. And so it's an unusual comedy special for sure. But I really liked it. I feel like it was really good at expressing a sort of like frustration of being trapped in a more or less comfortable prison cell. Um, and also, just part of what it made me think about was that, even though I think many of us are coming out of this whole pandemic thing with a few more psychic scars than we had before, I just think back on how glad I am that I had a couple of key elements for me, which was Rocket, this little animal that needs to be cared for and who gives me a reason that I need to go outside more than once every day. Um, and also that I have my Dungeons and Dragons games, which were social activity that I was also doing before, so it still felt normal, right? Like I was already used to it. I wasn't having to as much adjust to a different way of experiencing it, and so that kept me in touch with other people and in a way that felt like continuing doing something that I was doing before instead of having to just be entirely different. And I feel like those two things really, really helped me a lot during pandemic to not have it affect me more than it did. Anyway, if that sounds interesting to you, check out Inside from Bo Burnham on Netflix. And in the meantime, I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes and maybe go have some more caffeine.